What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City daily transfer update. Remember, I'm rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole summer transfer window for you guys to stay up to date with here on YouTube every single day with all the latest City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. Don't forget social media links. You can find them in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, and do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this video. We've got no contract news, so we're going to start off by speaking about the outs, and we've got the very latest on Manchester City youngster Jacob Wright. Now, Manchester Evening News have said that Jacob Wright isn't going to be loaned out by Manchester City this summer. The plan is to use him around the academy, and he's also going to be spending some time with the first team as well. So if there's any injuries or if there's any concerns about filling places in the squad or filling up the bench, which at times last season City did struggle every now and then, there is space there for some young players to be promoted, and right at the top of that list will be Jacob Wright. So he will be given some first team responsibility. He'll train around the first team, he'll see more of the first team, be involved with the coaches. He's going to learn from the very best with all the best players around him as well. So very exciting for him. Not going to be spending the season on loan, instead going to be spending the season in and around the Manchester City first team squad. So that's that done and dusted. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Joao Cancelo, and Mundo Deportivo over in Spain have said that Barcelona have made a last ditch attempt to try and sign Joao Cancelo from Manchester City. They don't want to sign him on a permanent basis. They want to loan him instead, with an affordable purchase option maybe being included. So they're hinting towards more of an option to buy rather than an obligation to buy. Now, Manchester City apparently are already sitting down and negotiating with Al Hilal over in Saudi Arabia about Joao Cancelo, and they're apparently prepared to pay up to 40 million euros to sign him permanently, as well as giving Joao Cancelo a massive pay rise, a 70 million euro wage split over 3 seasons, which is more than what Man City or Barcelona would be paying Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo isn't all that keen on a move to Saudi Arabia. I was speaking in yesterday's update about why was this not being explored 12 months ago. Well, it wasn't being explored 12 months ago because Joao Cancelo just simply wasn't keen on a move to Saudi Arabia. He was more keen on a move to Barcelona instead, and Mundo Deportivo are going along that route, saying that he would prefer a move back to Barcelona, and Barcelona are making a last-ditch attempt move to try and make that happen. Now, if I was in charge at Man City, I'd just straight up say, look, we're not accepting a loan offer when we've got a permanent transfer here. So what's going to happen is we're going to reject that loan bid from Barcelona. We're going to accept the bid from Al Hilal, and if Joao Cancelo doesn't want that move to Al Hilal, he can turn down that offer, but he's not going to be registered as a Manchester City player, so it'd be well within his best interest to seek that permanent transfer. Problem is, Man City aren't going to do that due to sentiment, and if Barcelona come in and Joao Cancelo says he doesn't want that move to Saudi Arabia and wants that move to Barcelona instead, City would turn down Al Hilal's move and they'd accept the Barcelona offer, which turning down £34 million to accept a loan offer with a purchase option, more than likely an option to buy, to me doesn't represent a good business deal here for Manchester City. And I think the most important factor here is Barcelona showing interest in Joao Cancelo. How legit is that? Because word we've heard from Barcelona is they're not all that keen on Joao Cancelo because they weren't happy with his attitude. They're struggling to register players. They haven't got money. They haven't got the finances to sort these transfers. Dani Olmo's still not been registered as a Barcelona player, even though they've managed to sell Ilkay Gundogan to Manchester City. They're having all kinds of issues both on and off the field at Barcelona. So to me, I'd just stay clear if I was Manchester City. Thank you very much for giving us Ilkay Gundogan. We can have him back. Great. See you later. It's not going to work with Joao Cancelo. He can move on. They can move on. we can move on. All parties are left happy, and this last-ditch attempt coming in is going to unsettle things. So we will see what is going to happen. I'll keep my eyes and ears open. I'm hoping we'll be able to sort out a long-term permanent deal with Joao Cancelo, so we're not still speaking about it after the next week or so in terms of Manchester City transfer updates. If they have, then something's gone wrong. Now, moving on to the ins, got the very latest on youngster Marlow. Now, Manchester City have completed the signing of Marlow from Coventry City's academy, so I want to warmly welcome Marlow to Manchester City and also wish him the very best of luck here in Manchester. Apparently, Man City have beaten numerous Premier League clubs to his signature, according to Fabrizio Romano, so another high-quality player getting added to the academy. And speaking of adding to the academy, takes us on to an update on Divin Mubama, and he has also signed for Manchester City. He signs for £1.2 million. A compensation package has been agreed by Manchester City and West Ham. It did see Mubama leave West Ham to seek that move to Manchester City, but compensation does have to be paid. Fabrizio Romano has said that he's completed his medical at Manchester City, so he'll be added to the academy along with Marlow Barnett. So looking forward to that. We'll see if Mubama ends up getting some first team opportunities at City and training around the first team like Jacob Wright is. I wouldn't rule that out if I'm being completely honest. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Celtic striker Kyogo. Now, Sacha Tavolieri has said that Pep Guardiola was that impressed with Kyogo during his pre-season match for Celtic against Manchester City that it's piqued Pep Guardiola's interest and he would like to sign him for the Manchester City squad for the summer. Pep Guardiola isn't that sure that Manchester City are going to be that keen on bringing anybody else this summer. Pep Guardiola has confirmed that also in his press conference in the build-up to Manchester City's Premier League game against Ipswich Town this weekend. He said that it does depend. So he's not completely ruled out Man City making a move for anyone, but he says he doesn't think Manchester City are going to make a move for anybody. But he said things can change. Could pick up an injury this weekend that could change Manchester City's mind. Could be a tactics change that City decide to do between now and transfer deadline day. It could be a case where the market does change. So if Kyogo asks for a transfer, or Celtic end up asking for money, or they put him on the transfer list, which is highly unlikely to happen, which is why Pep Guardiola doesn't think that's going to happen, then Manchester City could be done and dusted. But they may be keeping an eye on, because we know City are keeping an eye on a younger forward as well, or there might be somebody else that comes out that Man City maybe are interested in adding for the right value. So it's not completely 100% being ruled out, but at the moment looking like Man City aren't going to add anybody else to their squad. But summer's long, anything can happen, even if there is a week or so left of the transfer window. Now, moving on, very interesting. Pep Guardiola was asked during his press conference about Raheem Sterling, and Pep Guardiola was full of praise when speaking about Raheem Sterling. He did say that he is also a Chelsea player, so he doesn't want to speak about the potential of Man City wanting to make a move for Raheem Sterling. We know that Chelsea want to sell Raheem Sterling this summer. Manchester City, at this moment in time, my understanding is City aren't that keen on bringing Raheem Sterling in, and to me it doesn't really make too much sense, because whilst I wouldn't be completely against bringing Raheem Sterling back, a homegrown player, he's got fantastic pace, he's a very good forward who works really hard for Manchester City. I know we could sit here and have a debate all the time about what's Raheem Sterling like in terms of being clinical in front of goal. We could sit here and argue for days, but his movement, his ability and what he brought to Manchester City was fantastic, and bringing someone like Raheem Sterling in and having him keep defenders really occupied could free up space for other attacking players, including world-class players like Erling Haaland. We never got to see the link-up play between them, and I think both them two players would really complement each other, but I'm just not too sure on how it works, because Man City under Pep like to use Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side. You've got Jeremy Doku, you've got Jack Grealish, you've got Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Savinho, they can all cover there. Oscar Bob as well when he's back from his injury. So bringing Raheem Sterling in, I think it just makes things complicated. He can lead the line if there was to be an injury to Erling Haaland, or if Manchester City wanted to maybe go with another option if Erling Haaland needed to be rested. But I just don't see that it's going to happen. I think the only thing that's maybe tempting Man City towards making a move for an attacker is the fact that Oscar Bob's out for 4 months. But by the time we get to the winter transfer window, Oscar Bob will be back and hopefully firing on all cylinders as well. So to me, maybe we would be better waiting. It's all about just having them options. The one thing we don't want, though, is to be taking risk, in particular whilst the window is still open, because we know if Erling Haaland ends up picking up a serious injury like what Oscar Bob has got, then all of a sudden you've got 3-4 months without Erling Haaland, and you're going to be asking yourselves where's the gold going to be coming from, and you're having to rely upon somebody else rather than going for that natural striker, which is why I think Man City are just umming and ahhing about making a move for a clinical striker, just so you've got the squad tied up, all loose ends are sorted for Man City heading into the new season. So I don't think City want to break the bank. I think Raheem Sterling, I don't think it'd be cheap for Chelsea to sell, but potentially as it gets towards transfer deadline day, they might be willing to do a cheaper deal, maybe even a loan deal. Is that worthwhile exploring? For me, I'd say no. But I'd love to know your thoughts of that, guys, in the comments below. Now, moving on to the final transfer very quickly, Gundo Day 2.0 I just made a note, it was all still on track in case there was any concerns and some hearsay and comments being made. Man City were getting everything finalised and sorted, and obviously they'd have had everything sorted more than likely by close of play yesterday. They just decided not to announce as of yesterday because, quite simply, it's very late in the day, and rather than tie things up on a Thursday evening, you can get things sorted by Friday morning because the work permit and everything's all sorted. He's registered to be a Manchester City player, so he is good to go. That had to be sorted by midday, and Man City had everything signed, sealed, delivered by last night, and have decided, rather than announcing late last night, have decided to announce this morning instead. And at 11 a.m. British summertime, Manchester City announced the return of Ilkay Gundogan on a free contract from Barcelona. Already done my welcome video on my channel if you want to go and check that out, giving more thoughts on that deal. But to warmly welcome Ilkay Gundogan back from his sabbatical at Barcelona and back to Manchester City, which is absolutely brilliant to see. So there we go, that has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. Raheem Sterling, would you like him back at Manchester City? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates coming throughout the whole summer transfer window for you guys to stay up to date with this summer with all the latest City transfer news. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.